What's up, everybody? Dave here again. Making breakfast, just got done a workout. I wanted to take a little time today to tell you about myself, medications, kind of my history and where my life has gone over the last 45 years. This will be, I don't know, maybe a 10-minute video. We're not going to dive real deep into everything, but I'm going to give you kind of the rundown of some of the things in my life that I've experienced. So, without jumping in yet, I want to make it very clear to say, this is not medical advice. I am not your doctor. Please do not take what I say and make it your advice. I'm not advising you anything of what to do with your body. That is up to you. That is up to your doctors. And that is up to your cardiologist. I am just telling you what I did, what worked for me, and how it is at 45 that I'm still feeling as good as I do today. So, let's jump into it. As I've mentioned before in previous videos, I had my mustard procedure. I think I was like just shy of 2 years old, a year and a half, so 1991, 92, somewhere around there. One of these days I'll get all the information down pat so I can give you the true breakdown of everything. I had my repair done in Detroit at Children's Hospital. My cardiologist, and from my understanding, the lead on my case was Dr. Nestor Turconi. And he actually remained my cardiologist until I was about 32, 33. When my parents moved across state over to the west side of the state, because I was born over on the east side of the state, I would still make the yearly trips to go see him and get checkups, get EKG, echocardiogram, and he would, update me on where we're at and go from there. My parents did try at least a couple cardiologists on the west side of the state, and unsuccessfully, basically. They were basically deeming me as warm meat. That's about it. I was nearing my end of my life. They needed to take me home and enjoy what time left they had with me. Basically unaware that they were fucking wrong, okay? So this is where I learned from very early on that you need to be an advocate for yourself. Because sometimes doctors, or anybody for that matter, see the scary picture and they just throw their hands up. Oh, we can't deal with that, and that's awful, and I've never seen anybody in this situation, so obviously they must be about to die. And if I give you any advice to take anything, it's these words right here: be your own advocate. That's it. Don't take anything else from this as advice. I'm not saying not to listen to your doctors, because you should. But it's okay to do research. It's okay to make sure that you're comfortable with what the doctor has in store for you, whether it's new medication, whether it is a new regimen of life, whether it's surgery, whatever it may be, because in the end, you're the one who has to live with the consequences. So, there have been a couple times where my original cardiologist, the one who was there for my surgery, I remember I was 18 years old. I was a mechanic, and he said, we need to put you on this medication. I believe it was lisinopril, and we're going to start you on this, and you're going to take it for the rest of your life. And I said, whoa. I don't feel like I need to take any medication. I feel like I'm okay. Mind you, up till here, I've never taken daily medication. Not a baby aspirin, no heart medication, no blood medication, blood pressure medication, nothing. And he said, you know what? Go home, do some research. You call me. We'll talk about it. I want you to make sure you're the one who's happy with what we do. So I did. I looked it up. I did a little research. And I called him and I said, okay, I'm on board. He said, all right, good. I'm going to send over the prescription right away. I want you to start on. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep you in the loop. we are going to keep an eye on this, and we'll see how it goes. Had me step toe right there. I'm going to do what he wants, but at my discretion, and together as a team, we are going to make sure it's the right thing for my body. And that is the way I go into all my doctor visits, even today as an adult. If I have had multiple cardiologists over the years as I become an adult. It took me multiple attempts at finding a cardiologist in my 30s, because when I would go for the very first appointment, basically a meet and greet, they would get my my file, they'd look it over, and then I would show up. We'd have a heart-to-heart, and they'd say, well, this is what I think we should do. And I would ask them to explain why that is, because I feel this and this. And I've had multiple cardiologists look at me and say, I don't work with you on board. I'm the doctor. I'm the cardiologist. I've seen this before. I know what we should do. So if you're not willing to, take the steps that I'm offering, maybe we're not a good fit. You're right, doctor. We're not a good fit. Because I'm the one who has to live with your fuck-ups. That's the way I look at it. Right or wrong, at the end of the day, my life is on the line because of what I choose to do, whether it's following the doctor or not. And if a doctor ever tells me, you're going to listen to what I say, we're going to do it my way, or not at all, bye. That's not saying I'm a tough patient, because I'm not. But especially at my age now, at 45, the choices I make, the drugs I take, the interactions with my doctors, the steps that I take for taking care of my life and everything else, that is going to positively or negatively impact the remainder of my life. And I'd like to have another 30 or 40 years if possible. I don't know if I will, but damn it, I'm going to try. And I'm not going to have any doctor tell me that it's their way or the highway. Because if that's the case, you're not looking out for my best interest. You're looking out for your best interest. And I don't care about your reputation if you put me under the knife or you give me a drug that kills me. I don't care about your reputation. I care about my life. I got kids. I got family. I think I still have a few people in my life that care for me. And I sure as hell am not going to lose my life over someone's ego. So, I found in Grand Rapids, on the west side of the state, I found a team of cardiologists, and I really liked the guy. He was really awesome. His name was David Cook, Brian Cook, David Cook, I can't remember. It's been a handful of years. We worked together. He took me off of most of the prescriptions that I was on at that time, and I felt great. I was with him for like 2 years, and then he moved or transferred out of state somewhere else. I would have followed him if I could. And then I got another one of his team, his crew, an Asian lady, I can't remember her name, Dr. Wynn, I believe. I don't know. I hate to say names, but I don't remember. She was awesome. And then come to find out, I guess she was kind of like the lead on his cases. So she was full-blown good with what we were doing at that time, but she did put me on one medication. I think trying to think if I got back on the lisinopril then or metoprolol. I can't remember. Either way, I went back on a medication, and I was fine with that because it was a medication I was used to anyways. And that was fine. And then a year later, she was gone. So now I have another cardiologist, and this is what kind of kills me. I don't know why cardiologists is like this, like the field. Whatever happened to building a cardiologist team that stays where they're at? Why do we keep flip-flopping cardiologists? Not like, what I have, any doctor or any cardiologist can take care of. That's just not the truth. I'm a firm believer that's not the truth. And again, I was in this rigmarole of trying to find someone, and I did, and she's really good. This will be my third appointment or fourth appointment with her. I see her once a year, and I'm going in March to see her again this year. But however, with her, I am now on lisinopril daily, metoprolol daily, and alprazolam, and a baby aspirin. And her way of looking at it is at my age, these are things that I should be taking anyways to help with my heart condition. Now, I wasn't too happy with that. I did do a little research. It does seem that she's correct. These are a lot of the drugs that a lot of people are on. And in the last handful of years that I've been with her, 3 years I think it's been, I don't feel like I've had any issues. And I feel really good. For the longest time, I didn't care about my weight and stuff. I mean, I cared, but I like to eat food. So I ate. I didn't take care of myself. And I did balloon up to like 190 pounds as of May 1st in 2025. So at that point in time, I felt like absolute garbage, and I decided to take care of myself. So I've been going to the gym 5 days a week. I've been counting calories daily. I've been active. I've always been an active person, but in 2021, I officially retired from being a mechanic. I was a mechanic for 27 years. Definitely a physically demanding job. And I think that's another reason why I've been able to stay healthy, because I've been active, I've been physical throughout the years, not sedentary per se. And I think that goes to show that if you have congenital heart disease and you can move around, you by all means should be moving around. Because I think it's best for you. I think it's best for your health. I think it's best for your heart. So, anyway, since May 1st of 2025, I have lost 30 pounds. I'm at 160 consistently right now. I do still work out 5 days a week. I lift weights. I do a little cardio every day just to warm up my body. When I was actively trying to lose the weight for like the first 4 or 5 months there, I was doing 30 minutes or more of cardio a day. That could be jogging and walking on a treadmill to using a recumbent bike. I never did a straight up bike because it always hurt my back. But sitting down and using a recumbent bike always worked well for me. And I'm talking about in the gym. I can ride a bike outside, but in the gym, I would do a recumbent bike. And usually I'd put about 30 minutes in, which could be anywhere between 6 and 7 miles. So I would do that at the end of my workouts. And the pounds just dropped off. No problem. Especially with my diet, because you want to lose weight. It starts in the kitchen, and it is multiplied by the mass in muscle that you gain. So the two together, working out and being in the kitchen and controlling my diet and counting my calories, those are what helped me lose my weight. Like I said, I'm down to 160 pounds. I've been able to stay there pretty consistently. I still, to this day, count my calories every day. I still eat a very consistent meal, like a couple eggs every day, a couple chicken sausages, some green beans, oats, Greek yogurt. Those are the kind of things I stick to for breakfast. I have chicken breast. I'll have red meat like steaks. I don't eat like a lot of pasta. Matter of fact, I've gotten into trying black bean pasta and red lentil pasta. Both I think are pretty good depending on the sauce you use. For snacks, like at night, I like using these Orville Redenbacher mini bags, like 100 calories. It's avocado oil inside of them. They're supposed to be a little more healthy. And that's kind of where it goes from there. I just stay consistent. So I lose my weight. But I am still on the same regimen of medication. I don't expect that to change. Here in March, I go in and I'm going to have a stress test. I'm going to have an EKG and an echocardiogram. And I guess I'm not doing an MRI this time. I thought I was, but I guess I'm not doing an MRI. I think I typically get MRIs every 2 to 3 visits. And I guess last visit I had an MRI, so they're not doing one this time. So it's still like a 4-hour visit for me when I go to the doctor. But needless to say, I'm looking forward to seeing what they say. Since I've dropped 30 pounds, I'm a lot more active. I'm hoping that I haven't caused any problems with my heart because of the lifting of weights, strain. I know that can be a concern, and I'm not, a foolish dummy. I know that it is very possible that you can do harm to yourself. You know, straining like that is tough on your heart. And I have a Dacron patch that is stitched to the heart, and I know that it does leak, the baffles leak, so I know it's possible I could cause more damage where I could have more leakage this time than I have. It's always been pretty consistent. They haven't been too concerned about it because it doesn't seem to be getting worse any more than they expect. So this time around, it'll be nice to see what they say as far as if the leakage is getting worse, or if they notice any other issues that are new this year compared to last year. If not, I plan to stay the course and continue doing what I'm doing. I'm looking to get in decent shape. I'm not looking to be muscular or a bodybuilder or anything like that, but I do want to be strong enough to continue to do what I want to do every day, take care of my children, run my business, and not get winded every second I'm out and about. Take my dogs for a walk without being winded. Go hiking. I was fortunate enough many years ago to climb to the top of Angel's Landing in Zion National Park, and I would love to be able to do something like that again. And I think at this point in time, if I continue this summer, I could potentially find another place like that and go on another hiking adventure and potentially do it again. So those are some things I'm looking forward to. I'm just hoping the doctor has positive things to say. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Be an advocate for yourself. I've always been very active. I mean, these are kind of the talking points I want to push out there. Be active. You need to be active. Your heart is a muscle. It needs to be used. I know some doctors say, oh, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was always told don't be in interactive sports, like with schools and whatnot. But when I was a kid, I didn't do any of that with schools. But I played baseball with my friends. I played football with my friends. I was an active kid. I skateboarded. I rode bicycles. I jumped off shit I shouldn't have. I climbed on top of roofs. I played. I did everything I was supposed to do as a kid. And here I am today. As I got older, like I said, I was a mechanic. I got into the business at the age of 17, and I was there until I was, 41? And that's professional. So that's 24, 25 years professionally. And prior to that, 3 or 4 years, I worked at an oil change place when I was a kid. So, I mean, I got about 27 years of automotive experience, and it was hands-on. So I was active. I was, doing engine repairs, heavy lifting of stuff all the time, all day long. And again, I think that helped me live a nice, healthy life. And so eat well, count your calories, lose the weight, the midsection, keep this low. The fat around your heart, around your organs, around your stomach, that is the worst fat you can carry for heart disease. So try and keep this to a minimum. Take care of yourself. Live like tomorrow is not expected, okay? I hate to say that, but it's true. Any day, any of us, unfortunately, could see our demise, and it's healthy people as well. But for you and I, those of us who have heart disease, it's a realization we all have to be understanding of, that one day this is all going to end for us. And it's going to be potentially on your own terms, or at least as you get really old, and you live a very long, happy, healthy life. But you need to be healthy. You need to eat right. You need to be active. You need to take care of yourself. Go for walks. Get out there. Move around. Get the blood flowing. Do a little bit of work in the yard. Just don't overdo it. Like my cardiologist always told me, if you get tired, stop. Rest, recuperate, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then go back to doing what you were doing. That is the way I've lived my life. Again, I'm not giving you a procedure what you need to do with your life. You got to decide on your own. But I think that worked well for me. And I think it's the least we can do for ourselves is to stay active, eat right, and be conscious of what we put in our bodies. Mentally, try and stay out of the bullshit in the media. That helps too, because stress up here is stress in here. Okay? You guys take care. I've talked long enough. We're going on 20 minutes. So thanks for swinging by. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share this to someone who you think needs to see this video. Leave comments down below. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you'd like me to talk about. If you want to ask questions, by all means, go ahead. I will not be answering medical questions as far as like what you should do with your health. Those are for you and your doctor to figure out. But if you have a question directly for me, what I did, what I'm doing, I'll be happy to share that with you guys. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Take care. I'll see you on the next video.